3 years ago, I fell into a deep depression. It was horrible. It was just absolutely terrible. It's like being in a hole that you can't get out of. People have often told me they just don't know how to explain depression. It's not just having a bad day, not just feeling sad after something discouraging happens. It's so much more than that. It's a deep hole, a pit, and there's no way out. It's so discouraging. It's a place of despair, no hope, no motivation, not wanting to get anything done, and no way out, no hope. And it comes back to your self-image. It did for me, feeling worthless. Here's a problem, and I'm supposed to be able to solve all my problems, and I can't solve this problem. For 2 months, I went on that path of trying to figure it out, doing everything I could, figuring out how to get out of this pit. Nothing worked. Did I say it was horrible? It was horrible. Wow, that was a pretty heavy start, wasn't it? I want to share that mostly to say that I know that many of you are hurting and you're in pain and you're in the same situation or similar, whether it's anxiety, ADHD, depression, other things dragging you down, maybe explosive anger. I know there's a lot going on, and especially a lot going on in this last year with our pandemic. Isolation, changes of all kinds, not being able to do a lot of things that you want to do, so lacking a sense of mission and direction. I understand that. I'll share more of my story. I won't leave you hanging later on. But for now, I want to get you talking in your family. This is the first segment of our mental and emotional strength experience for families, designed for you all to work together on the things that can be preventative or wellness oriented towards mental and emotional health. Don't just wait till we get sick, till we get depressed, till we're in the bottom of that pit. There are things that we can do. That's what we're going to help you work on together. Adults, children, young people, work on it together because we all need to strengthen our mental and emotional muscles. It's also going to be fun and helpful for you to bond as a family because we're going to open up, hopefully. And for this to work for you guys, everybody's got to share and open up. You don't have to share long, and if you just can't, you can pass. That's fine. But most helpful is if everybody shares. That's partly why I started the way I did too. I wanted to be very vulnerable and transparent. I have gone through some rough things the last couple of years, and so I get it. I know how difficult things can be. I am also incredibly blessed. And there's good and bad in all of our lives, even in the midst of a pandemic. So I want everybody to share now. I'm going to pause the video. I want everybody in the family to share two things. One, what's good? In fact, what's really good? What's great in your life right now? And there's nothing that's great. What's good? Now, for some of you, this will be work because you're really so focused on what you don't have and the negatives. Force yourself to share something good, even as simple as you have a place to live or you have food to eat every day. Those are good things. What's good in your life? Maybe some of you really are experiencing some great things in the midst of all this challenge. Then share two, what is the most challenging thing or one of the most challenging things in your life right now? I want everybody to share, if you can, adults, young people, kids as well. share what's challenging in your life right now. You know, the start of bonding and connection is openness and honesty. I started off by being very honest about my struggles. Maybe you're not in the pit of despair. I hope you're not. But we all have things that we're dealing with. Share that with each other. And a very important thing, not very many rules, not big into rules, but one thing that's going to be really helpful is just listen. If you're not the one sharing, no snide comments, no comments. Questions, you can ask questions. Open-ended questions to understand, not to critique. We're not going to critique, criticize at all. We're going to listen. Parents, it's really critical for you to set the example here too of honesty, not time to critique or even solve the problem. It is to listen and understand. Okay, you ready to go? This is going to be good experience for you, and I'll come back after you pause the video I'll pause for about 5 seconds. Hey, how was that experience? I hope you found it helpful and learned some new things about each other. I will answer that question for you as well. You heard my challenge, and it continues to be a challenge which I'm able to overcome for the most part with a lot of help. The blessings you see right here over in these new pictures. My grandkids are just the delight of my life right now. My wonderful wife, Joanne, who loves the grandkids, spends a lot of time with them in between being an author, writing about parenting, traveling, speaking. And then you see my 3 kids, my 3 children, my 2 boys, biological children, and Amanda, who is Dave's wife, my daughter-in-law. What a blessing. I share that with you because, you see and you look at this list down below, that our topic really for this first session is where's your focus? And we really, our brain tends to, and we'll talk about the brain more in the second session, but our brain tends to always be looking for vulnerabilities, looking for danger. That's the amygdala down deep in our brain. And so that's just a natural tendency that we have, to be looking at negatives and seeing what needs to be fixed and what's wrong to protect ourselves, for protection. So we have to really learn to overcome that somewhat and put our focus on something different. One of the things that we can do is put our focus not only on the problems, but on the positives. Where's your focus? A lot of research has been done. A lot of new things have been discovered about the human brain over the last 15 years. Many, many things. And they've come to the conclusion, even, atheist scientists and such have come to the conclusion that the human brain is a remarkable and powerful tool that God has given us. God created us with a remarkable brain, a remarkable mind. And what we think about is what we become. And right now in our world, we're just, lots of forces are causing us to think about all the things that are wrong, all the things to be afraid of, all the things that are difficult. And it's causing us a lot of anxiety. What is the solution? If we want to change what we think about, we have to practice. We have to discipline ourselves to focus. An athlete has to discipline themselves to focus on the right things. A musician, an actor has to choose. A business leader, anyone has to choose what they focus on. A Christian person needs to choose what we focus on so that the powerful brain that we have God can use that to calm our fears. One of the scriptures that's always been my favorite, and it's in Philippians 4, verse 8. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent and praiseworthy, think about such things. Philippians 4:8. Think about such things. Think about the good things. Think about the spiritual resources we have. Think about Jesus and all that he's done for us. Where's your focus? It's easy to get caught up in the details of life. We need to practice. That's really what therapy is. Therapy is practicing a different way of thinking. Let's practice. Now, this is easier said than done. So we're going to keep learning, and we're going to look at a superhero. One of my favorites, Spider-Man. Spider-Man's been around for a long time. When I was a kid, and that was a while ago, I was a kid, it was a cartoon version of Spider-Man. Boy, did we love that. Come out with some really good movies lately. So we're going to watch a clip now and see what we can learn about Spider-Man and about how he's able to focus with the help of Tony Stark. I've always loved superheroes, and particularly my guy Spider-Man. They've come out with some really great new movies, but one thing I like about superheroes, Spider-Man specifically, is that they live in two worlds, so they have competing identities. They have to keep the one kind of secret, and so they don't really know who they are. They have something wonderful, a gift to offer to the world, but they also have all these typical struggles. Spider-Man's a teenager. He's got all the teenage anxiety, struggles, relationship issues, parent issues, pressure from people who bully him, all that stuff going on. I think we learn a lot. Spider-Man in particular really gets things together in his life when he starts to focus on his mission, his purpose, using his strengths. Let's watch this particular clip, where Peter Parker meets his mentor, Tony Stark, for the first time.
As walnut date loaves go, that wasn't bad. Oh, what do we have here? Retro tech, huh? Thrift store? Salvation Army?
The garbage accident.
You're a dumpster diver.
Yeah, I was. Anyway, look, I definitely did not apply for your grant.
Me first.
Okay.
Quick question of the rhetorical variety. That's you, right?
No. What do you mean?
Look at you go. Wow, nice catch. 3,000 pounds, 40 miles an hour. It's not easy. You got mad skills.
That's all on YouTube, though, right? I mean, that's where you found that. Because that's all fake. It's all done on a computer.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that video.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like those UFOs over Phoenix?
Exactly.
What have we? So, you're the Spiderling, crime-fighting spider. You're Spider Boy?
Spider-Man.
Not in that onesie, you're not.
It's not a onesie. I don't believe this. I was actually having a really good day today, Mr. Stark. Didn't miss my train. This perfectly good DVD player was just sitting there, and algebra test. Nailed it.
Who else knows? Anybody?
Nobody.
Not even your unusually attractive aunt?
No. If she knew, she would freak out. And when she freaks out, I freak out.
You know what I think is really cool? This webbing. The tensile strength is off the charts. Who manufactured that?
I did.
Climbing walls? How you doing that? Adhesive gloves?
It's a long story. I was...
Lordy, can you even see in these?
Yes, I can't. Look, I can't see in those, okay? It's just that when whatever happened, it's like my senses have been dialed to 11. there's way too much input, so they just kind of help me focus.
You're in dire need of an upgrade. Systemic, top to bottom. 100-point restoration, that's why I'm here. Why are you doing this? I gotta know, what's your MO? What gets you out of that twin bed in the morning?
Because I've been me my whole life, and I've had these powers for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
I read books, I build computers. And yeah, I would love to play football. But I couldn't then, so I shouldn't now.
Sure, because you're different.
Exactly. But I can't tell anybody that, so I'm not. Look, when you can do the things that I can, but you don't, and then the bad things happen, they happen because of you.
So you want to look out for the little guy, you want to do your part, make the world a better place, all that, right?
Yeah, just looking out for the little guy. That's what it is.
I'm going to sit here so you move the leg. You got a passport?
No, I don't even have a driver's
You ever been
license.
to Germany?
No.
Oh, you'll love it.
I can't go to Germany.
Why?
I got homework.
I'm going to pretend you didn't say that.
I'm being serious. I can't just drop out of school.
Might be a little dangerous. Better tell Aunt Audie I'm taking you to the field trip.
Don't tell Aunt May.
All right, Spider-Man. Give me this.
Almost everything draws our attention these days to the negatives, to the problems, to the failures. Need to turn that around. Okay, so Spider-Man was didn't know what to do with himself exactly, but Tony Stark is going to help him focus on his strengths, his superpowers, and where he should go with that. His mission. You might remember that I was in a deep pit of despair 3 years ago, and you may be wondering, how did I get out? What were the factors that allowed me to escape and overcome? Many different things, many different things played a part. My faith played a huge part in believing that God had something in mind that he was doing here, allowing me to be in this difficult situation. Many, many people helped me. I'm blessed with so many friends, and many of them started talking about their struggles with depression. And many of them I didn't know had this struggle. It's not something that's still real out in the open. Those were just some of the things. And those friends, they pointed me to the focus on this passage. Again, where's your focus? What are you focusing on is key. Another thing that helped me was a therapist helping me to work back through some issues in my life. And then medication helped me. I went to a psychiatrist, got some medication because the chemical balance was all out of whack in my brain. Another thing that was huge in my life is that at this time I was coming out of this, the medication was working, I found a new mission for my life. I believe because of everything that I learned about the brain and about depression and suicide, that's a mission that God wanted me to have me on, to tell my story and help others who are struggling, particularly young people. So a mission was really crucial, but it all came about from this passage. Let me read this to you as well. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. Do not conform to the pattern of this world. I just think many of us don't know enough about how our brain works and how pathways are created when we allow the pattern of this world to shape and mold us, we subconsciously, call automatic thinking, we are very much conformed to the pattern of this world, unless we again take direct action that depends on our focus. To be transformed by what? The renewing of our mind. What we think, what we read, what we practice. Then we're going to know God's perfect will. That's a transformative thing for me. I want you now to talk about this as a family. I want you to talk about that clip from Spider-Man that you saw, and what did you learn about the focus, and his focus as Tony Stark was trying to help him focus on a mission to help the little guy to change the world. And think about then your life and your family. Next time, in the second session, we're going to focus on understanding more about how our brain works and our emotions. And then we'll get to, in the third session, we're going to get to those specific individual strengths or superpowers that each of us have. Talents, gifts, things that we're supposed to use in our greater mission in the world. But I want you to think now about your family. And I want you to talk about what could be your family mission. Is there something that you could do together as a family that would help you have a direction together and be a team? So often today, and this is especially true in this pandemic, that we are individuals living in the same house, and we focus on the things that bother us and disturb us, and we can tend to be very negative to each other rather than focusing on something positive. Let me encourage you to discuss what could that be. It could just be something simple, or you can go into a greater discussion about what your family can do together on a mission as a team that will bond you together and help you all have a different and positive focus. So go ahead and do that. And this will be the end of our session then.